Chaos Blur.
All right, well, there you go. That's on anyway, so you get that right off the bat. But welcome to another stream, everybody. This is Bobby Gaines, otherwise known as Chaos Blur. Here to celebrate, well, the end of May, a month that has been pretty hectic, to be honest, but also a lot of fun at times as we get ready for that mall tour of America. And it's been a wild ride, I'll tell you what. And it's nice to see two people on this stream already, Randy and Toaster. Getting it done, so we got them all to America out of the way early, as we just saw.
Where's that damn fourth Chaos Emerald?
And we got Genesis Does, which I will play while checking out that piece of candy that Randy so graciously offered up. What do I want? Yeah, we'll go with the Crackle Bar. Crackle Bar is like Hershey's version of an Nestle Crunch Bar. Today we're going to play little Kirby's Return to Dreamland, but with a twist. We're going to be playing the extra mode that they added to this game, which is like Magalore's Adventure. I have no idea what it is, but should provide some fun, and hopefully you guys have had a fun month of May as we get ready for June. One of the biggest months I'll be embarking on, as I made no secret about it. I'll be going to Mall of America under a week. It's all coming out now. But for real, thank you both for tuning in. Appreciate the support as always. We're gonna have some fun together. That's really what this was all about. So let's get to it. What do you say? Let's get retroact. Now, I'm just kidding. I'll be saying that again pretty soon as well. Magalore Epilogue. That's the thing I was thinking of. So this is all new content for me. And for anybody who played the original game. And for anybody in general. This was one of the selling points of this remake. Although I think the original game was handled brilliantly, to be honest. So let's see what got us to this point. This is Magalore's Epilogue. The epilogue about Magalore. A little dramatic, but used to it. It's what it's all about at the end of the day. Hey yo. Little meditation. I feel like we could all use a little meditation in this crazy world of ours. 99999. He said 49. I don't know why you even needed to translate that. I feel like anybody knows that. But anyway, you are always one to be very negative at times with your using of no. And unfortunately, you were but one game away from that KFC chicken. I could not believe the Celtics even got that close. But of course, as usual, they disappoint you when it matters most. The Celtics just completely shitting all over their legs and playing the worst game I think I've seen them play since Game 3, but even more, like, just I don't know how you play so flat in a game of that magnitude. But, hey, it's the Celtics, so unfortunately, it just wasn't meant to be. That lower defensive manageability and much of his strength, the tale of his triumphant turn now begins. As you defeat enemies, you'll earn magic points. Points to boost Mangalore. So I really don't know how to play as him. So he doesn't have copy abilities like Kirby. He's just floating around, and he can do that, I guess. And yeah, we've had a hell of a time. Why not commemorate it?
But now that you've
This
really
notable
pissed
sound
me
clip.
off, I'm gonna kill her nice and slow. MJ and I are gonna have a hell of a
I don't know if this
time.
is like one big level, like kind of like a Metroidvania, or if there's like different worlds or whatever. So we're slowly regaining his power, I guess. I don't know. Was a little bit curious about this mode since I got this game, not gonna lie. This is like the final chapter, so to speak. I've already beaten the game, so now we're just gonna see like what happens. I guess this is after you beat the game and he gets like, you know, defeated, because spoilers, he is the final boss. Alright, here we go. We got some enemies here. Okay, what did I just win? Like a glowing taco? I was gonna say, it's not gonna tell me what that does. Does it do anything, or is it just an aesthetic? Alright, well, it's like a first level. I don't expect a whole lot from that. Alright, so how you doing, Toaster? Why don't you tell us a little bit about your month of May, how everything's been going, how it went, as we get ready to turn the page to June and summer, and just an incredible time already. Cannot believe it. Alright, so we got the taco. It's not going to tell me what it does. It's not like an actual Metroid game where like, hey, you got the morph ball, or hey, you got the missiles. Like, what did I just get? I lit one flame. Any story to this? Who knows? Aguilar learned Magic Bomb. Alright. Can now cast Magic Bomb thanks to the power of the Fruit Fragment, or Fruitment as I will now be calling it. Each fragment holds incredible power. So there's only I only need to get 5 of these, and one of them they just gave me in the first like 5 minutes. May was bad, had a few. Oh, alright, well. How to react to that one? May has been a bit of a mixed bag, but I think overall it's been a pretty decent month. I mean, I can't complain too much, because this year of 2023, and I mentioned it a time or two, this has been an incredible year so far for a number of reasons. There's been some ups and downs, and I think, you know, this month at times was a little bit hectic and not necessarily in a good way. But then, I don't know, last 4 days I've actually not been working at all. Now I'm working again starting tomorrow, and then, you know, preparations continue on the Mall of America trip. So it's been kind of like, it's like I'm busy, you know, with good stuff, with other stuff, and, you know, it's just kind of weird when you work like whatever it was, like 19 out of 20 days or whatever I worked, and then you have 4 days off. It's like, what the hell do you do with 4 days off? Like, it sounds like a good thing, but it really has not been. You know, it hasn't been a bad thing, but it hasn't been like what I expected. Okay, we got Mall Tour of America. And yeah, like you guys already know, with the Mall Tour and everything, like, the Mall Tour of America is just It's one of those things, obviously, I've known about it for a long time. I've had it planned since last year. I've had the date officially set since February of this year. So I've known for like 4 months that I'm going. And it's just one of those things like, holy crap, it's actually here. Like, I'm actually going to the Mall of America. Like, Mall of America, just to clarify for everybody, like, yeah, I've known about the Mall of America like my entire life. I've always heard about like, oh, you ever gonna go to like the biggest mall in America? I'm like, oh, yeah, sure, I'll go there someday. And like, I don't want to say I never thought, but like, it's almost like this mythical being. It's like I'm gonna meet like the Gryffindor or something. Like, I'm gonna meet the Phoenix. I'm gonna meet this thing that should not even exist. And I don't know how I'm gonna react. I mean, obviously, euphoria comes to mind, but this is gonna be something. And I guess if I had any regrets, it's just that more people aren't coming. But at the same time, I'm just going to enjoy it. I'm going to love it. I'm going to have a great time. And, it's going to go by fast. I already know that. Like, it seems like, it's going to be a long time. But, it'll be over before it even begins. I'm, like, going to be so... I mean, pretty much. And I know that's a bit dramatic. But, like, it really does kind of feel like this trip is, like... Who's confirmed going? I'll tell you who's confirmed going. John Lee. That's it. Like, I'm just kind of, that is all I know, unless somebody surprises me at the last minute, but I pretty much have the arrangement set. We're leaving Monday morning, and that's it. I'm going to spend a few days in Minnesota. Oh, I'm low on health. That's it. And it's kind of funny, because I pretty much predicted that from the beginning. John Carter would not have been a surprise, but no, he's not coming. And I kind of figured he wasn't, but I wouldn't be super surprised if he did. But at this point, and it is what it is. Like I mean, I'm excited. I could go see this mall with nobody and enjoy it. But like, yeah, it is kind of like weird that I'm celebrating this thing. The mall tour has been around for like 6, 7, 8 years now. And the thing that it's always been known for is having, like, different people on it. Like, a bunch of different people at random times. But the final one's just going to be, like, one other person. Like, that is kind of weird. But at the same time, the mall itself is going to make up for it. So, ironically, it is going to be about the mall, not the people. Which is a complete reverse course of what I've always said. Oh, it's not about the malls, it's about the people. In this case, it really is about the mall. Because there aren't enough people for me to justify it. And that's to take nothing away from John Lee, who has been nothing short but miraculous since... I announced the mall tour final season. He's been on like 24 of the last 25 mall tours, and he will be on the final one. So that's not a knock against John Lee. I think he's been amazing. He brings a sense of energy to the mall tour that really we didn't have ever. So having him on the last couple seasons has been great, and having him on this last one is going to be great. I know it. It's just kind of, again, it's just kind of weird. It's like having a last episode of Seinfeld without Kramer in it, Like, it's like, how do you, like, you're only going to have, like, one character, but it's like, hey... I did what I could. I'm good. John versus John. I mean, they do have an interesting dichotomy together on the few mall tours that they've both been on, which has happened. Queen's Place, that happened. Providence Place 2020, that happened. They get along well, surprisingly, for completely different personality types. But it's always kind of funny to hear, they kind of, like, bounce off each other nicely in terms of the videos. Like, don't get me wrong, they both have their cynical sides. John Lee's a little bit more on the energetic side, but he can be a little... he's got a little Carter in him as well. But anyway, I don't want to make this whole video about the mall tour itself, as we are playing some Magalores, whatever, which I'm going to be honest, I'm not super blown away by so far, but I've only played 2 levels. Magalore Ordeal Doors, or Doors as I will now be calling them. This game is just begging for words to be combined in weird ways. Special challenges await Magalore behind every ordeal door, or door as I'll now be calling it. Or door deal? No, I've already committed to door. Nah, they both sound stupid. Once Magalore's wheel is reached towards the card level, it will open. This is the Aero-Gree dimension. I don't know if that's supposed to be a pun, that it sounds like agree, Aero-Gree, but whatever. Hopefully the mall will be... I mean, so funny thing about that, it will be open, but the Mall of America has 2 different hours. Monday through Wednesday, they're open till 8. And then Thursday through Saturday, they're open till 9. We're going Monday through Wednesday. So we're like going there on the 1 less hour, which I don't get. Why would you be open a different hour for those days, not the other days? But whatever. It kind of cancels out because Minnesota's in a different time zone. So technically we're arriving an hour earlier than we would. It's confusing, but it's whatever. The restaurants are open later than the mall. Some of the attractions are open later than the mall. So again, it evens out. You know, I'd like to say, oh, well, I don't need, like, 48 hours to look at one mall. But I actually might in this case. I actually might. I think my record was, like, 8 hours spent at the American Dream Mall, and I still don't think we saw everything. But that's the American Dream Mall, which is second only to this mall that I'll be going to. Like, in terms of like a platformer, this game is okay in terms of design. Mall of any okay, that was okay. I'll be sure to reference that. I mean, I do plan to do little shout outs to everybody who's been on a mall tour at some point during the trip. I feel like it's, you know, almost a cliche, but it's got to be done. Like, you know, and that's not just you or Rem or whoever has been on a mall tour. There's been a lot of people. Like, there's been almost as many people as there's been malls that have been on one. Even people like Joe Tebow or freaking Lex's friend Liz, who was on literally one mall tour for maybe half the tour. Like, that's how... Yeah, believe it or not, I actually have a graphic for her. Like it or not, she's been on the third or fourth most mall tours. John Carter might have just beaten her out on that, but... I mean, in a 3-year period, she was on, like, about 16 of them, so that's something. I kind of like to think that it goes, like, you know, John Lee and then Kat in terms of, like, people who are recurring characters, like... Yeah, John Lee's been on 24, 25 mall tours, and obviously we'll never see that record get beaten because we are at the end of the line. But, like, before that, it was Kat who was on, like, 16 at 20 or something crazy like that. So, I mean, it's kind of funny how it's evolved, it's changed, but it's still kind of stayed the same. It's just different people. I mean, okay. I mean, if she does, that'll be, like, the first time I've heard from her in 4 years. And it's not like I'm going to make a whole video of her. I'm just going to, like, maybe have her picture at the end or something. I mean, I haven't really thought about how I'm going to handle that, nor do I know why. It's honestly not a storyline, which in a way is a little sad because when the mall tour came back, she was a huge reason why it came back. But no, she really is not a storyline. She will have a minor mention at the very end because I feel like everybody will. Everybody's going to have some kind of mention at some point in what's going to be a massive video, by the way. So it's not like it's going to be the whole video. It's going to be like a 2-second clip out of like an hour video. That's how little she's going to be in it, if at all. And it's not even going to be a video. It's going to be like a freaking picture. Some of the shit she posts, I mean, she can't really complain about that. And if she does, then hey, I guess that means she's still watching the channel. Good for her. It's weird when I do something like this, because mall tour's technically been on a hiatus for like 18 months now. Like, it's not like we just went on one last week. Like, my last mall tour was like end of 2021. I took all of last year off, and I haven't gone on one this year, so... Yeah, this is not like, you know, it's pretty easy for me to get into that mall tour character, don't get me wrong. Like, I have no concerns with that, especially once I see the Mall of America. Like, I'm going to lose my shit. Like, I can sit here and talk about it all I want. But, like, what's going to happen is going to happen. But, like, it does bring back some weird feelings. Like, when you mention Kat, or you mention, well, you haven't really mentioned anyone else, but, like, it does bring back some weird feelings of, like, where did those people go? Like I wasn't really thinking about them before that. But, yeah, it's 2023. I haven't seen her since, like, 2018. So it's like, it's a long chunk of time. That's 5 years. So, yeah, I mean, would it be nice if she had, like, sent me a message or something? Yeah, I guess. But, I mean, I really didn't. I'm going to die, aren't I? Yep. Like, I don't. It's like, I don't care and I do. Like, there's other people like her, but, like, she's the one that comes to mind since she was my co-host for basically the first 2-3 seasons of it. Like, I was obviously the main star, but she was right there. She was 1A. And then John Lee kind of took right over, and, you know, he's he's been the best, like, co-star I've had, only because, and that's not a knock on anyone else, but, like, he's been on 24 for 25 of them. Like, that's a pretty damn hard record to beat. And not only has he been on them, but, like, he's either driven on them, he's freaking, like, lent his commentary, and you know what great commentary he has. Like, he's been invaluable. I mean, alright, again, not saying, I don't really know whose side you're on sometimes when you say stuff like that. I'm not saying she's precious, I'm not saying she's anything. Like, she was a part of it, though. That's the thing, when I start, like, reminiscing, it's like I can't reminisce without mentioning certain people. Like, it's not that I even want to, necessarily, but, yeah, I do have to reference her. She was a big part of it. That's it. That doesn't mean I think she's precious, but, yeah, she was a friend of mine. Like, that is undeniable. That is history, but... You know, it's also history. It's not the future, so... Yeah, make of that what you want. Yeah, you had 20-year-old Spider-Man cereal. How is it that I always miss these random moments, by the way? Like, you know me, I love those kind of random moments, and yet I end up seeing the video after the fact, and I'm like, well, what was my 20-year-old cereal? Whatever, like, I don't think I would have eaten it, to be honest. But... okay, this game is like... it's like challenging, but only because like they don't give you any abilities. Like after you play as Kirby the entire time, and you go to play against this guy, he's got like no abilities compared to Kirby. Tasted like cardboard. No, that's quite all right. With great cereal comes great nutritional facts. Man, he's slow as hell too. Like I thought his speed would go up as I got more of these. God, I really did just get hit by a freaking little mushroom turd that got thrown in the air. Anyway, would you like to continue playing in this stage? Yeah, why not? Oh, does it really like take me back to the beginning, or is this... no, this is where the last checkpoint was. Sorry. Not that this is that... like I said, this would not be difficult at all, except you have like no abilities, so you're like slowly leveling him up. Hold on, get back here, you. Well, that's another throwback. And see, in the case of the mall tour guys, and again, in the case of pretty much everybody, except for maybe Cat, I don't feel like it was malicious. But, like, I haven't heard from them probably since, like, 2020, like early 2020. I mean, they knew it was the last mall tour season. I remember getting in touch with them maybe, like, March or so of that year. And then, of course, that's when COVID started. And COVID really kind of just messed everything up. Not just with the mall tours, but, like, a lot of my social life, which I didn't have much of a social life to begin with, full disclaimer. Like, what little of it I had pretty much just kind of never came back. Like, it's not like, you know, some things went on hiatus and they came back. Mall tour guys are one of those people that just never came back. And again, could I have done more to reach out to them? Probably. But, you know, they also weren't exactly responsive to coming to my birthday bashes the last couple of years. They haven't responded to the majority of my messages. I don't think they hate me or anything. I think, you know, they just kind of moved on from it. I'm not, you know... I feel like this is going to turn into some, like, depressing, like, it's supposed to be like a happy occasion, like, you know, the ultimate mall tour, and that's what I want it to be, you know? It's not like some depressing anti-reunion where we just remember all the people who aren't here anymore. Like, that's not what I'm here to promote. You know, I like the mall tour guys. If I heard from them again, I would talk to them, but, yeah, I'm just going to say it how it is. Like, I'm not even, like, you guys can plug in the emotion if you want, but I'm just going to tell you how I feel. Well, seeing as how I already said... that John Lee's the only one going, and John Lee's name is not Michael Dan. Again, fill in the blanks on that one. Michael Dan, and again, unless there's some miracle, he is not going. And to say that I'm surprised is honestly not, that wouldn't be true either. Like I said, I've kind of known what to expect. But my ticket, I'll go. I already know that says buy my ticket. There's several reasons why I won't do that. Number one is, no. Number two is the tickets are like way more expensive now because you guys all waited till the last minute. And when I say the tickets, it's free to go to the mall. It's the airline tickets in the hotel that's costing all the money. I mean, the mall is free to go to. Obviously, like any mall, it's absolutely free to go to. You just had to buy stuff at the mall. You don't have to, but I'm going to. And yeah, I knew this was an expensive trip, and that's why I planned it 18 months in advance, whether anybody else cared to know. So, you know. I'm not buying tickets for anybody at the last minute because the price has gone up. Not a lot, but enough where it's like, yeah, no. No offense. But that's just how it is. You know, it's not like, you know, I've had people ask me like in the last... I mean, maybe. I've had people ask me in the last month like about this trip, and it's like, yeah, if you still want to come, you can come. But like, I've mentioned this trip since like literally last summer. Like, I know I didn't start mentioning it more until like this past maybe, I don't know, 5 months, but... it's not like this trip was a secret, and people are like, oh, you know, when are you going? How much is it? It's like, I literally posted all this, like, back in January, because I knew this would happen. I called it. Ask John Carter what I said before this all happened. I called it going exactly this way, and I wanted to be wrong. I was not wrong. I very rarely am when it comes to this stuff. I wish I was. I want to be proven wrong. Please, somebody, one day, prove me wrong. That's why I hate planning trips. I hate planning anything with more than like one person, because even with one person, you don't know what's going to happen. You start adding more than one person, there's like 20 different things that can go wrong, so. Trevor was in the mix. Again, we're too late right now. Like, I understand, I like what you're trying to do, but the trip's in like 5 days. Like, this isn't like, oh, you know, what are you doing next Monday? You want to come up to Minnesota? Like, you know, if people want to do that, fine. And then Trevor, ironically, is probably one of the few people who would do that. But, you know, it is what it is. I'm fine with it. But, you know, it's just kind of funny that I spent so much time building it up and getting, you know, some support. And, yeah, that's it. Like, at the end of the day, you kind of find out who's there for you at the end. That's all I'm going to say about it. Like, you know, the talk is fun. You know, people who are like, oh, this is so cool. What a great idea. That's great. I love to hear that stuff. It's wonderful. But where are those people at the end of the day? Because I've known a bazillion people like that. Not just about the mall tours, but about everything. I've known people who, oh, that's a great idea. Oh, yeah, do that. That's awesome. Where are they when it's time? And that, again, that applies to a lot. And I'm not saying I'm the most reliable person either, but I like to think for the most part, if I can be somewhere someone wants me to be, I try to be there. You know, I'm not 100%, but I don't say it unless I'm gonna go. Like, I don't say like, oh, that's a great idea, and then not show up. Like, that's just me. Again, I understand that. I understand people have bills, and, you know, I'm not making light of that. I have bills, too. Like, we all have bills, so I'm not, like, getting on anybody in particular. It's more just a general thing I've noticed about people that doesn't even involve money. I mean, in this case, it does involve money, but usually it doesn't. Usually it's just one of those things like, oh, we should do this. And it's like, okay, let's do it. Let's do it. You know, I'm more than willing to do these things. Let's do it. And then months go by, never hear from the person again, whatever. It's like, okay, whatever. No loss for me. You know, I used to get super invested in this stuff. It's kind of like with the Celtics. It's like, you know, I used to get super invested in this stuff, like anybody owed me anything or I owed anybody anything. And it's like, you know what? No, I don't. I don't owe anybody anything, and they don't owe me anything. Like, you know, I'm just going to do me. You know, is it silly that my ultimate trip is to a mall? Maybe, but I don't care. People go on trips all the time to islands, to, you know, conventions, to whatever. They have their trips they want to go on that they, you know, save their money for and make sure they're ready for. My trip happens to be to a mall. It's not conventional. I get it. I don't care. That's how I'm going to go approach this. This is my Disney World. This is my big thing that I'm doing. That I understand is not a destination for 99% of people. I get it. I don't care. I'm going to enjoy it. People can mock me. People can say, oh, I spent all this money to go to a mall. I don't care. I don't care. I've done like nothing in the last 10 years. I've taken maybe one trip that was like of any significance besides this. Like, I'm doing this. And I'm going to enjoy the F out of it. And afterwards, I probably won't go on another trip for another 15 or so years. So that's why I'm kind of okay with emptying the whatever you want to call it, emptying the piggy bank here. Because, you know, not like there's that much in there anyway. But I've been on 70-something mall tours without buying things at 90% of those malls. And I got some time to make up for here. God damn. This is actually a really hard boss. But again, I don't know if I'm doing everything that this freaking thing's supposed to do. I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, no, I've been going through a really crazy range of emotions. Like, even with sports, with everything, it's like I've been angry, I've been happy, I've been excited. And, you know, hopefully it's all going to even out and I'll just be me at the end of it. You know, that is who I am. That's always who I'm going to be. I'm just an emotional person. You know, that can be a bad thing, it can be a good thing. It just is what it is. Why is this such a hard boss fight? It's mainly because my character doesn't have any abilities. It's not that this boss is all that difficult, but my only ability is to drop this one bomb. I'm losing to something called Electricy Duder, which sounds like something a 6-year-old made up, like, doodling in class. I'm also just used to playing this as a, I don't know, Kirby game, because it is a Kirby game. So, like, Kirby games, you can usually cheese these boss fights. Not so much here. Okay, That was only like freaking phase 1. Don't get me wrong, I had every intention of buying you that chicken. Like, I was going to have a freaking party. Like, if the Celtics found a way to come back from that 3-0 deficit, I would have brought the chicken over with interest. And, I don't know, probably would have had a great time watching some Disney Channel movies or something. I mean, we can still do that, minus the chicken, because I ain't buying that chicken now. I'm not in a chicken mood after what the Celtics did. That was more like chicken shit. Ah, damn it. He's good with that. Okay. I'm at a severe disadvantage. Keep in mind, this is only the first boss. Not even halfway. Halfway. I want to say, in addition to this, there's actually like a hard mode of the main campaign. I'm not going to spend too much time, like, I mean, obviously today I'm streaming this game, but like, you know, once I beat the Magulor, however you pronounce it, epilogue, I'm probably not going to revisit this game a super amount. Like, it's not a game I'm trying to 100% or anything. I mean, as it is, I still have Kirby in the Forgotten Land from last year, and I have not forgotten, and I still have more to do in that game that is actually sort of relevant to the overall story. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying right now. I'm trying to avoid those attacks. It's kind of funny playing as basically the final boss of the main game and feeling completely outmatched. Because I am outmatched. I have, like, no abilities whatsoever here. Whoa, okay, here we go. Did he have bombs before? I don't remember bombs. Oh, sure, now he's at his halfway point, and I'm still taking a shite ton of damage. God damn, that one hurt. Like, it would be nice if these things, like, give you any health or anything. They just kind of add to the hurt. Alright, let's really lock in on this guy. I don't want this to be like Nier Automata, where an hour later I'm ending the stream and saying, well, we did what we could. Probably the best I played against this particular boss. Watch out. Oh, that was dumb. God damn. And we're dead again. I mean, I'm getting magic orbs or whatever, so it's like, hypothetically, I should be getting stronger. It doesn't feel like it. Is there something I'm missing here? Like, is there some attack I should be doing that's, like, more effective against this guy? Or, I mean, this is not a hard fight. It's more that they've nerfed your character so much. Yep, then he does this. Oh, hold on. also realize, like, I'm starting at half health, and I don't have that much health to begin with. Watch out. See, the problem is, even if you dodge that, there's such a huge... I mean, look at that. It dominates the freaking screen. God damn, there's also, like, no offensive, like, moves you can do. Like, alright, you drop a little bomb on him or something. YOLO Moltor. I mean, yes, that has been the topic of the day for whatever reason, but... I've already said my piece on it. For now. I'm sure I'll have more thoughts, but... right now, I'm just trying to beat this stupid boss. You mad? Not really. Trust me, I've had enough to be mad about the past week or so. You can thank the Celtics for that. Had a pretty good day yesterday, celebrating my dad's birthday over at Nani's. Probably have a video for that whenever. Damn it. God damn it again. I was close to getting his health down, too. Basically have to be near perfect in this boss fight. I mean, you can get hit maybe like 5 or 6 times. It just depends on by what, because he's also got like really strong attacks at times. I mean, this is supposed to be after the main campaign, so I understand why the difficulty kind of ratcheted up. I mean, alright, Daltor. What the f- Oh, man, he just literally just, like, threw his fist at me. Alright, well, it made sense. Doesn't mean I liked it, but it made sense. I keep forgetting I don't have the slide move like Kirby. Watch out. I think it's so ridiculous he gets to do this like 8 times or whatever. Just watch out, because I've got him very close. Oh, I got him! Oh, crap, it only took like the whole stream, but I got him. Do I get to take his hat? No, I just get another taco thing. Be honest with you, I would have rather taken his hat. That would have been a nice prize. Like, what'd you get for defeating him? His hat. Alright, that's a pretty good prize. Alright, stage eventually cleared. What's going on, Queen Bee? Thanks for sticking around and joining the hive here. You see what I did there? Last stream of May as we get ready for June. Hopefully having a great day here. Another lovely one here in the States in terms of weather. Well, I can't speak for all the states, only the state I'm in. Alright, what do we got? Good, good, nice weather. That's what we like to hear. That's what it's all about, yo. Magalore learned Magalore Surge. Ooh. Alright. Alright, got some extra abilities here. I like that. So we beat the boss. And this looks like it unlocks some new areas, which it does. Very nice. Watch out. Alright, I'm gonna get cooked. That's alright. See what's up here, if anything. Looks like we do have some... Anything? I don't know. Game looks fun. Well, this is actually the new part of the game. The Magalore... I don't know what they call it. Epilogue or whatever. You get to play as him and slowly upgrade his abilities. It's a mixed bag. It's fairly well designed, but... It's kind of made tougher than it needs to be, in my opinion, with just some of the... Okay, how do I get rid of this without, like, hurting myself? Oh, okay, I can dash through them. I knew that. I wish there was more health ups. Like, the game, like, suddenly becomes not super difficult, but compared to the main game, it feels like Dark Souls. I don't know how many, like, of these orbs you need to, like, level him up even a little bit, but... Oh, so after all that, I just took like a weird shortcut around to where I would have been anyway. Yeah, good to know. Good to collect as many orbs as you can. Always a good thing in life. You know, you see some magical orbs, you take them. There we go. All right. I mean, it's part of the Kirby game, yes. You just now realize you're playing Kirby. Toaster. I'm at, you really are. Shoot. Ah! The floor is made of lava. Yeah, no, that's, yep, that is how you do it. Beat the main game and you unlock the Magalore Epilogue. I think there's also a harder version of the main game you can play. I, of course, opted for this. Apparently we can only do that ability once. Uh-oh, enemies. Ooh, more enemies. Ooh, additional enemies. All right. Sweet. Two. Is there anything down here? I'm going to explore a little bit while we're also doing our stuff. I have no idea what the story is here, by the way, if there even is one. Oh, here we go. Whoa, okay. Protect the magic bulbs. These mysterious bulbs are full of magic. I guess that would be insinuated by the name magical bulbs. Enemies will try to attack them and steal the magic inside for themselves. Well, that's not very nice. Each hit a bulb takes will drain some of its magic. Try to protect the bulb and claim as many magic points as you can. I'm sure this is going to go well. Hey, leave that alone. It's my magic. Mine. Can't have it. Oh, alright, that didn't last as long as I thought, actually. Moving along, then. Alright, I'm sensing a theme here. Oh, no, you don't. Okay, maybe you will, but not, hopefully not much. Top 10, that's an arbitrary moment. That is something I could do, though. I could have, like, top moments of everybody. Like, once the Molotov is done, like, all bets are off for, like, montage videos I can make. I mean, this is not going to be, like, a simple, like, okay, it's done now thing. Like, I mean, Molotov has been such a part of my channel for such a long time, you know. It's... DNA is going to be all over my channel for years to come. Take that as you will, but... I mean, there's a ton I plan to put out at some point. Even if right now I'm kind of focusing on the finale, you know, it's not over till even after it's over with me. Like, it's still going. Of should be left. Oh, I've actually considered something like that. That is hella depressing, though. I mean, I'll still make videos at malls. That's not off limits. Also, I mean, I'm not saying it won't happen, but I feel like people have been predicting the death of Crystal Mall for literally 5 years now, if not longer. Like, it feels like every year I hear, oh, Crystal Mall is going to die this year, and I'm like, I'm not saying it won't, and, you know, at some point you will be right, but it's like, I've been hearing this forever, that the Crystal Mall is going to die. Maybe it will. I mean, there's malls all over the country that are hanging on for dear life, so, I mean, you know, Crystal Mall is not immune to that either. Yeah, final week of the Crystal Mall being open. Could be this year, could be 5 years from now. Like, I feel like the mall's been in decline for the longest time, and it's one of those things where you don't really see it getting better, but you also don't see it completely going away. I could be wrong, and eventually, like I said, it will happen. Everything dies at some point, even people. So, yeah. I will likely outlive the Crystal Mall. I don't know by how much, but it's probably going to happen. That is a depressing thought, and that is really not how I'd want the mall tour to end in any way. Like, again, you're like in a very melancholy mood today. I don't know what to make of that. Like, some of these ideas you're suggesting are just very, not what I'm looking for right now as I get ready for what's going to be the most exciting mall tour I've ever been on. That's kind of where my mind is at right now. Not, the dying local mall that, has a lot of memories to me, and that's kind of what will always give it kind of a status as one of my favorite malls of all time, despite the fact that it has no business being that when I've seen so many better malls. But, it'll still always be fondly remembered no matter what ends up happening with it. And, like I said, though, I've heard about the death of that mall forever, and maybe it's just because I'm in this area. What's really sad to me, actually, is a mall that's not even in this area, the Emerald Square Mall, Massachusetts. That's been, like, one of my favorite malls ever for a long time, and that mall is pretty much going the way of the Crystal Mall as well, with so many stores being removed, or just, there's still the 3 floors, but there's really not much going on. Like, I've seen recent videos of Emerald Square Mall, and that, to me, is really sad. That's a mall that, to me, unlike Crystal Mall, has had a pretty successful run. Like, the Crystal Mall, to be honest, kind of hasn't been the same in probably 10 or 15 years. Like, Emerald Square Mall, I mean, I toured that in, 2019. It still seemed pretty busy then, but since then, obviously, pandemic took its toll, among other things. And, yeah, it's seen better days, and it kind of sucks. Because Emerald Square Mall, unlike Crystal Mall, is one that still, I thought, had a pretty good future ahead of it. And it seems like it's just gone completely the other way now. And now it's just a matter of, how long can it last? Not even, will it last? It just feels like... Again, I'm not trying to be a downer here after I tell Toaster not to be a downer, but that's just, Emerald Square Mall now feels like one of those malls that... And in general, I mean, let's be honest, shopping malls are not as popular as they were in the 90s. They're not even as popular as they were in the early 2000s because of online, shopping, which was always a thing. It's been a thing for a while now, but... Most malls right now, the only ones that are really hanging on are the ones that are more they're in an area where that's the biggest thing to do. Even Providence Place. Now, I haven't been to Providence Place in probably a couple years, so I can't really comment, but at least every time I've gone, it's been pretty busy. That feels like a mall that's doing well. But that's one of the few, especially in this area. But that's because it's in Rhode Island, and it's in an area of Rhode Island where there's really nothing else to do. And that was the case for Crystal Mall for a while. It's in an area where... Yeah, there's other stuff to do, but, it kind of did have a decent hold on it, as it being one of the better activities to do in the area. Why is this one enemy so hard to kill? The Crystal Mall had that same thing where it was in an area where it should, by default, be the best thing to do, but it kind of shot itself in the foot by taking out, everything good about it. You get rid of Macy's, you get rid of Sears, you get rid of half that mall. Yeah, people aren't going to come to it anymore because there's nothing to come to. But even with that, there's still people at the Crystal Mall because there's nothing else to do. There's just not a lot of people, but, imagine if you put even a few good stores in there, you could, I'm not saying you could save it, but you could at least make it better than it is right now. Again, maybe I'm just not remembering the past correctly, because I'm a little biased, but it just seems like, even 10, 15 years ago, it was, as far as that area goes, I'm not naive enough to think it's a big place to go, but it was a place to go. I love Filene's. Filene's is down as a franchise, so that's not coming back ever to any mall. There is no more Filene's in any mall. I think the last one that closed was at Peabody, Mass. in 2015. That's how long Filene's did hold on, but you're not going to see... This one freaking enemy here, this beam enemy, has killed me every stinking time. I'm going to try to be stubborn here and hang on. God damn! This being stubborn can only last so long, just like the Celtics. Eventually, you get knocked out. Too soon? Too soon. Filene's went out, 2005? That went out so long ago. You could argue the mall was still doing pretty well then. But, yeah, obviously, Filene's was not. Whenever anchor stores start going out of a mall, that's usually the beginning of the end, especially when they don't replace them with anything. There's been malls that have lost anchor stores, and Mall of America's lost anchor stores, but, they replace them with something else. You can't have malls that have huge gaping holes for long periods of time. That Sears space has been gone since, 2018, 2019? They've done nothing to put anything in there. You can't have huge gaping holes in a mall and expect it to last. It's one thing if a little store goes out, but, you can't... I mean, okay. I'm actually trying to have, like, a serious analysis about this, but, you know, if you just want to make it that, we can make it that. But I'm just saying, like, you can't have missing anchor stores for a long period of time. You need attractions, basically. Like, yeah, that's great. There might be some, like, decent stores in the mall, and I actually think there are some decent stores in the mall, even still. I like that junk store. I like, the trading card store. Like, there are some nice little spots in the Crystal Mall still, but that's not going to bring people in. That's going to bring me in, and I'm already there, so they don't need to bring me in. If they want to bring new people in, they need to get some bigger stores that people have heard of that's going to drive business. Toy Vault, again, a perfect example of a store that, yeah, I love it, but who really knows Toy Vault? Are you serious right now? Okay. I don't even care that I lost that. But yeah, that's not bringing anyone new either, as much as I love Toy Vault. I mean, sadly, that probably would do well. Like a dispensatory or whatever you want to call it. God damn, how long is this goddamn level? I mean, that's New London, which I understand is close to that area, but I've always put Crystal Mall, like, a little bit above New London. I mean, for one thing, it's not in New London, so that helps, but like, I always thought higher of Crystal Mall. Like, I mean, I know you need people from New London to shop there if you're gonna, you know, get the success, but I mean, it's closer to Waterford. It's in Waterford. So, I mean, I'm trying to give Waterford people a little bit of credit here for being better than their neighbors. Honestly, I think the mall kind of... Oh, God, I gotta go all the way back here. I think the mall just kind of shot itself in the foot a long time ago when they let restaurants like Charlie's go, you know. I mean, as much as I like Buffalo Wild Wings, like, they had a pretty decent setup. I think if they had just, like, lowered the taxes on some of their tenants, they would have kept some of those stores. I mean, there's been stores that were even doing well that moved out of the mall because they just charged too much rent. Like, it's not even as much as, like, oh, people didn't want to go there. It's people wanted to go there. The businesses didn't want to stay because they charged too much taxes on them. So now the only people they can get for stores are, like, kind of your small mom and pop stores that, you know, they probably give them a deal to be there, but yeah, that's not going to keep the business going. Like they've kind of realized how they messed up, but I think it's too late now. Like, you're not getting a lot of things back. You're not getting, like, I mean, there's already a Best Buy in the Waterford Commons. Like, any of the stores that might have done well in the mall already exist outside the mall. There's already a Target near the mall. There's already a Longhorn Steakhouse outside the mall. Like, all the stuff that could have maybe saved the mall already exists outside the mall. Five Below, everything. Like, Books A Million, all those stores would do great in the mall. They're already somewhere else because they weren't going to pay the high rent to be in that mall and basically just be something you walk past. Like, they were charging way too much rent. Nobody wanted to stay there. It wasn't worth it for the businesses. I completely understand that. And I think even now, even if Crystal Mall was like, okay, we'll charge you like a third of the rent, it's too late now. Like, those stores already are somewhere else. They're not moving. You're not getting that collection of stores. You might get something. I mean, they lost Old Navy. They lost a couple other, like, decent brands. Like, they're not... I don't know. They have to go an avenue they haven't gone before, which is, like, maybe, like, Bosgov's or, like, a Primark. Like, I say this as someone who's been to a lot of different malls, and I've seen some interesting stores that I think could do well in Waterford, but they have to bring them. Because they're not coming there voluntarily. Like, they have to make it very appealing. God damn it, I hate this so much right now. Be honest with you, like, I like the idea that you level up this character like I do. I mean, yes, John Carter Watersport's a store. I should expect nothing less in a serious discussion. I like the idea that you level up this character, but, like, at the same time, it's almost too much, where he's, like, too weak to beat anything, and it's like, I feel like in the last third of this adventure, it's going to be almost too easy, but right now, it's just frustratingly hard. Like, this is not how you balance a level grindy game like this, like, if that's what they're going for. Where I feel like I'm outmatched by common enemies, and I can't really do crap about it. And I gotta restart huge chunks of the level if I miss a freaking shot. Like, it's just, and the gameplay itself, I'm just gonna be honest with you, is not fun enough to warrant me wanting to do this a million times. It's not like, you know, some Sonic levels, it's like, okay, this was a hard boss, but at least I enjoyed getting there. I don't even enjoy getting there. Like, this is just kind of boring to me. And I like the Kirby games. Like, I like Kirby games in general, and I feel like this will get better if you stick with it, but right now, it's a struggle. It's not a fun one. It's not like some RPGs where it's like, okay, I just have to come back to this area with more abilities, and I'll beat this enemy. It's like, I don't really want to come back to this area with more abilities. Like, you mean to tell me I gotta level my character up some insane amount to do stuff that I could do in the main campaign super easily. Like, that's what I feel like. Like, I feel like if this was a Kirby level, it would be great, but playing as this dude who's got, like, no freaking abilities, I'm getting my ass kicked by little Waddle Dees. Like, this is just not why I play Kirby. Like, if this was the game from the beginning, I guess I could see it, but so much of this game is so much more accessible and fun that this just feels like such a step in the other direction design-wise. It's like all of a sudden you have to be like perfect on these fights when you didn't have to for the entire main game. I honestly don't even care if he breaks that magic thing, because I'm just trying to survive this fight, and I just did. Yeah, this is just obnoxious. Like I said, it's not difficult because the level design is difficult. It's difficult because they are intentionally nerfing your character to the point of, like, it's unplayable. That's why I'm getting frustrated. When the main campaign gets harder because the actual level design is accommodating for it, like, if that makes sense. Like, Kirby doesn't get, like, weaker as the game goes. It's just that the level design gets more challenging. This level design is fairly dumbed down, but my character can barely do anything, so it just feels harder by default. I don't know. Oh. Now, see, this is what I mean. Like, now they tell me that I can do all this stuff. Okay, so what can I do here? Dashing a longer distance. What if I can unleash up to 3 attacks in a row? I mean, are these actual questions, or are you just going to tell me what to do here? I mean, I've got enough points to buy pretty much all of these. Yes. Oh, yes, I should have a lot more health. See, this is what I mean. Like, I figured there was some kind of, like... Alright, this is a little more reasonable now. Alright, so now I'm running out of money here. Dashing a longer distance. Okay, I get it. Okay, that's fair. I take back, like, maybe one of the bad things I said about this game. And now I can do some of these challenge levels because I've kind of ramped myself up a bit. So here we go. Maybe now we'll start really having fun with this. Oh, cool. It's the freaking Mario Fire Stick ability. Or not ability, obstacle. It's even got kind of a Mario music thing going on here. Oh, really? Alright, well, nothing I can do about that. Actually, these aren't timed, I don't think. I probably could go back and try that again, but... that's the glitch right there. Alright, not bad. I want to say, look, I thought these magic points were supposed to do more. I'm glad that it's not just me. Like, the game did not do a great job of telling me that I could just upgrade abilities that I already have. That's good to know. So, let's see what we got. Yes, boost it up. Yes, boost it up. Yes, boost it up. And yes, boost it up. So now I have a little magic barrier I can do. That's pretty cool. It's cool, cool, cool. Alright. I just don't want to feel like I'm getting my ass kicked before I even... No wonder this was so difficult. Alright. I'm going to be a little more reasonable now. Oh, that's a lot more. Not terrible. Okay, now I like this even more. Look at that. Boom. Boom, shaka, laka. Okay, we come down here. Whoa, okay. Some enemies there. Not even enemies, just giant-ass fireballs. Watch out. Ow. Okay, here we go. Watch out. Okay. Oh, shit. Now I'm dead. It's still not easy, but... Let's say, if I could, like, even get his levitation up to, like, where Kirby's is. It's funny, my ultimate goal here to level him up is just make him Kirby. Like, Kirby's got basically max stats as far as I'm concerned after playing this. Ow. Okay, well, it's still kind of worth the risk because I did get that other thing. All right, now I'm actually starting to get my groove in this game a little bit. I feel like this part is going to give people problems. And by people, I mean me. Because whatever the most common mistake you can make in these games is, like when they're testing these, and like, oh, what kind of things are going to give players trouble? Like this. Go in there, get more of that. Go. If you like pina coladas. And playing Magalore's Epilogue in Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe on Nintendo Switch. Then get a load of this now. Get a load of this bitch. Ow. Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's not good. Let's say I've got the magic barrier still. Or I could just sit there and dodge into an attack. That seems more reasonable. Say, like, what is my magic level at? 'Cause it seems like my magic level never goes up from, like, it's supposedly supposed to go up after I use whatever thing. Okay. Ow. Okay. Well, there's not much I can do about that. Whoa, that's a lot of damage there. Got him. Say, give me something there. Oh, now I finally charged my full magic attack now that this stage is over. Alright, cool. See, now it gives me something to look forward to, because now after I beat the levels, I can go in and, you know, allocate some magic points to upgrade them and stuff. It's something. That's a way you make a game that's kind of like that a little more exciting. I mean, yes, if you've been paying attention, which honestly sometimes I doubt, but that's another story. Alright, let's see what we got for abilities that will be of use to me. Yes, you should. How long it takes before my combos end, that would make it easier to... Should I boost my magic bomb? Yes, you should. Which I believe will make this accessible. It really will. Whoa, okay. How do I actually, like... Oh, it's because I'm like, why am I just flying so high now? It's because of the freaking, ow. Yeah, it's because of the ow. What the fuck did you just want to say about me, little bitch? I'll have you know I graduate... What in the world? Okay, I'm not reading, like, any of that. Well, I will give you creativity for finding new, ridiculously out-of-left-field ways to, like, comment on things. Like, you know, right when I think I've figured out everything you're going to do, like, yeah, that I did not see coming from your... I'm not reading any of it. I did not see that coming, even in my wildest dreams. If that is a dream I'd ever have, somebody wake me up now, because that was freaking terrifying. I'll let someone else read that. Like, I don't know why that got posted. I don't know if it's a reference to some popular argument somebody had on the stream. I don't know, but that is not something I'm going to touch. Toaster in rare form today. More right now. I mean, I wish they told me that was an ability I could get. Alright, so, where are we in the main game here? 2-3 I just beat. That's 2-4. Okay, I don't have that ability upgraded yet. So let's just go in here. Let's see what we got. Why not? We got a key there. Oh, that's not good. It's one of those levels where the wall chases you to your death, potentially. Hold on. Definitely want to keep up collecting and stuff. Watch out. Okay. Oh, boy. Okay, here we go. I can actually start to appreciate this more for what it is. So my tip is, for anyone who's new to this Magalore thing, yes, I have, actually. It's a really good show. Anybody who is new to this Magalore thing, make sure you upgrade his abilities between levels by hitting the Y button. They don't really tell you that. They make you think his upgrades just happen naturally from collecting orbs. They don't. You have to spend them. And you can choose to spend them however you want, but just spend them. Do not do what I do and sit on the same level for like 4 levels and wonder why the game is so difficult because you didn't spend your points and they didn't tell you that you had to spend like manually or whatever. But I digress. Other than that, fantastic game. I don't know if I'd say 10 out of 10, but solid 8 out of 10, I guess. Yeah, My Life as a Teenage Robot was a pretty good show. I feel like there was still more to that show that we didn't get to see. Like, they teased a few storylines. There were different things. I mean, it was a good show as it was, but it's like... Even like Chalk Zone, which I think is another underrated show, I feel like they had more planned and the show just got canceled or whatever. I mean, obviously it got canceled, not out anymore, but I'm saying, like... And again, maybe they didn't. Maybe I'm just reading too much into it, but like... Definitely with Invader Zim, which is a fantastic show. I know they kind of brought it back for that one little movie, but I feel like Invader Zim had a lot of potential for more, like, storyline. Like, and you know, I realized My Life as a Teenage Robot wasn't, like, a huge story show, but I feel like they had more planned there than what we saw, and it just only got to 2 seasons or whatever. You know, there's a million shows like that, I'm sure, where, you know, for the person who watches it all the time, you're like, oh, what more could they have done with that? And, you know, we'll just never know. But I mean, to me, Invader Zim's an obvious one where they left a lot on the show. I don't know if it was my favorite Nick show. That's a pretty lofty thing. It was good in that almost every episode was good, like, because they made so few of them. That's kind of the other side of it. It's like, do you want it to last 20 seasons and be like SpongeBob, where it's like a bunch of junk? Or do you want to have like 4 really good seasons? I don't know how many seasons it had. Kind of reminds me of Our Real Monsters, which I love that show. But that show didn't last very long, but I love that show. But again, that could have gone on for too long, and then we're talking about, oh, they made too many of them. It does feel like it's very hard to hit that sweet spot where you've made enough episodes to kind of satisfy fans, but then, you know, like, you don't want more, but you, like, Danny Phantom to me is actually a show that I feel like made just the right number of episodes. Like, it continued, like, as long as it should have. It had an ending, and it was good. Like, I don't want more Danny Phantom. I don't want less Danny Phantom. Like, it's one of the few shows where I feel like that was good. That was sufficient. Like I'm not like, oh, man, it went on too long, or, oh, they really need to bring it back. It wasn't on long enough. Like, there's so many shows like that where, you know what I'm saying? Like, they only made, like, 2 seasons of it, and you're like, oh, I would have watched more of that. But then the other side of it is, I kind of wish they didn't bring it back for 10 seasons because only 2 of them are good. Like, it's really hard to thread that needle. I think, and I don't know why I'm throwing this in the realm, but why not? I think Kim Possible is somehow both, where I would take more Kim Possible if they made it, but I think the ending was actually really good. Like, as much as I love Kim Possible, and it'll always be one of my favorite shows of all time, like, I'm actually good with what they made. Actually, I thought there were some filler episodes toward the end that you wouldn't have seen toward the beginning, so I think you can make that. See, that's the funny thing. Kim Possible, So the Drama was meant to be the series finale, that movie. And that was one where I kind of did want to see more, because they kind of, the way they end that movie is like, well, wait a minute, like, you just left a huge open-ended thing here. So that's why I'm glad they brought it back for Season 4. Even if Season 4 had a few filler episodes in it, I thought Season 4 was actually probably the best season of the show, which is why, in a way, they ended on a high note, and I'm kind of glad they ended on a high note. Like, I don't, you know, if they make a Season 5 of Kim Possible, I'd be all over it, but I don't need one. Like, I feel like what we got was enough. And the fact that we even got an extra season is something you very rarely see with Disney shows. Usually when they're ready to move on from them, that's it. Alright, anyway. Before I do this next boss, and this might be the last boss I do, as we wind up the stream here, let's see if I can buy anything else. Yeah, Kim Possible, So the Drama is an excellent. Even if they had ended on Kim Possible, So the Drama, I mean, the show would still be legendary, but the fact that they brought it back for that 4th season, and the 4th season was so good, I think makes it even better. That's one that could have gone either way. Or you could have been like, oh man, that was kind of like a weak ending, but no, they took a chance and it really paid off. I thought the 4th season was excellent. And So the Drama was excellent, and could have been its own finale, and should have been its own finale, but that's one where I'm kind of playing both sides of the fence, because I'm like, well, on one hand, you don't want to overdo it, but on the other hand, they overdid it, and it kind of worked. So, generally, that doesn't happen. Generally, you keep bringing the show back, you're just kind of asking for it to get a bad light. Like, look at how many times they brought back Family Guy, and I feel like it just gets less and less good every time. Like, the original Family Guys are great, and even when they brought it back, it was still decent, and now it's kind of like, okay, how many Family Guys are going to do? Like, I'm sure some people still really like the show, but kind of one of those things where, you know, they could have ended it at any point in the early days, and people would have been like, well, you know, it'll always be remembered as this great show that could have had more. But now we don't know, because now it's just had so much. It's like The Simpsons, where there's more bad episodes than good episodes. Except The Simpsons, it's really bad. I'm just going to be honest, and I'm a huge Simpsons fan, but The Simpsons had like 10 amazing seasons. Like, those are some of the best cartoons ever for the first 5-10 seasons. And since then, I'm not going to say every season after season 10 was bad, because there were some good ones, but it's been a lot of crap for, like, especially once you get into the 20s. Like, they'll have a good episode now and then, don't get me wrong, but when you make 900-something episodes, yeah, they probably do have, like, 400 or so good ones, but that means they have 500 bad ones. Like, that's the problem, the quantity thing. It's like, how was I supposed to dodge any of that, by the way? What the F is that? Hold on. Let me do my little special move. That did not do it nearly as much as I was hoping. What am I supposed to do here? Like, what was I like, half of those attacks, like, were the entire screen. Like, what was I supposed to do? So you can kind of dodge by doing that, or you can put the barrier up. There's not a lot to do, though, when he starts doing these, like, mega attacks or whatever. Jeez. That's how you want it. That's how you get it, I guess. Again, what was I supposed to do there? I mean, I do enjoy taking a fictional character to the mall. I mean, she'd be fun to take to the mall tour. She'd be like, oh, ain't no drama. What's the sitch, Bobby? Yeah, that would be kind of stupid, actually. Don't get me wrong, when I was a kid, I mean, I think we all, well, it wasn't a kid when Kim Possible came out, now I'm thinking about it, but when I was a kid, I used to have dreams, like, I'd go on adventures with the Rugrats, and, like, all the characters I'd watch on TV, like, I feel like we all had that, like, you know, you watch a show on TV, it gets in your mind, and you have dreams that you're like, you know, oh, I'm going to the grocery store, freaking Ron Stoppable or something, like, yeah, it was freaking stupid, but dreams are stupid, what can I say? God damn it, oh my god. YOLO, I mean, whoa, hold on a second here. Who said anything about screwing them? I said to go on an adventure with them. You just took that to a weird place. I said no such thing about screwing them. Hold on, we got Randy lurking in the background here. Actually, surprising that you're not redeeming these. An adventure to the apparent, I mean, I literally never, I said adventures. I didn't say adventure to the bedroom. Holy crap. Do I even need to say, get your mind out of the gutter? Well, I mean, that guy's a total animal, but that's another story. Holy. Okay, I can put the barrier up. That's only going to do so much. I can't dodge that attack. Whoa, what am I supposed to do against that? Some of these attacks are such BS. They're like worse than the Celtics 3-point shooting. That's pretty bad. Watch out. What the fuck? Got him. Holy crap. Okay. Well, I have a second here.
Where's that damn fourth Chaos Emerald?
What's up, Randy? I know you've been on the stream, like, not the whole time, but you were on here a little bit earlier as well. Whew. Barely made it through that one. Alright, we got some magic points. That was a tough boss, actually. I mean, at times I would say it was unfairly tough because of just some of the attacks that filled the screen, but, I mean, it was whatever. But yeah, as we get ready for the third world here, I'm actually going to go ahead and wrap things up here. Not just for today's stream, but for, well, it is for today's stream, but also the month of May. This is the last stream for May. If I do stream tomorrow, which who knows, but if I do, it'll be the first stream of June. As the Mall Tour of America just gets closer and closer all the time. Looking forward to that. Hopefully you are as well. But as always, I appreciate you guys watching the channel. Apparently I learned some attack called Deadly Needles. Yeah, it is Deadly Needles. You gotta talk about Kimpa. I mean, in general, I will. Just not right now. I know you don't have any legitimate questions about the show. I know it's just going to be some ridiculous things like what you just said before. But, well, plenty of time for that in June. The Mall Tour of America is technically June 5th through June 8th. So I'll be gone those days. All right, we're going to throw that Genesis ad up again. I'm glad to see that one's getting some use. Yeah, I'm a pretty simple fellow at this point. I think we all know what I like. All right, I guess we're using all these rewards for the last time in May. We're going to do a piece of candy as well. All right, you guys realize that these points carry over to June. You don't have to use them all now. But I appreciate your using them. I forgot what the hell I'm supposed to play right now. Oh, hell of a time. 16-bit arcade. Stream Deck is like actually delaying. I don't even care though if he crashed the stream because it's pretty much over.
Now that you've really pissed me off, I'm gonna kill him
Another Kit
nice
Kat.
and
Why-
slow. MJ and I are gonna have a hell of a
The
time.
last couple months. Yeah, I appreciate everybody supporting the streams through May. You know, we were kind of light on streaming in May because I've been getting away from World Tour of America, and June's probably going to see some of the same, and you know, hopefully by July or August. I can't believe the year is already almost half over here. Hopefully by July or August we see more of those Chaos Blur streams we know and love. Because I still love doing them. Yells, I really am not doing that. But what I will tell you is that you can have a good night. And Toaster cannot have any KFC chicken because the Celtics could not beat the Heat in Game 7. But I kind of saw that coming. I'll let Toaster answer. I was going to say, I'll let Toaster answer that one. Yeah, short answer and long answer, both the same. No. All right, well, appreciate the support by both of you and by everybody this month. We will see you in the next stream. We'll see you next month, you could say. As always, stay chaotic. Blur out.
Chaos.